So now that a lot of cards are starting to go up in price and people are starting to manipulate the market, I'm sure a lot of you are wondering which cards are going to go up in price next. So today I got an awesome list of a ton of Pokemon cards that I think are so undervalued that could easily go up in price next. But before we get started, we got to thank today's video sponsor, and that is Punch-Out Gaming. Punch-Out Gaming is my local game store and the #1 game store in all of Minnesota. I've actually been to them all. Nobody can beat the variety. On their site, they got a little bit of everything. Pokemon, sports cards, Yu-Gi-Oh!, ton of video games, tons of video game consoles. And they have a lot of sealed Pokemon products. You don't have to worry about ordering from Amazon or eBay. This is a store you can actually call and come visit. And two, if you do come visit, they have a huge room now where you can actually sit down and play Pokemon, do some trading. It's just honestly a great time. So if you're ever in Minnesota, they're 30 minutes north of the Twin Cities. Definitely come check them out. The link is in the description. All right, let's get to it. All right, so the Magikarp Illustration Rare is the entire reason I made this video. I have, no joke, seen probably over 100 or 150 comments say the only reason the Magikarp is so expensive is because it's so hard to grade, right? That's all everybody keeps saying is, oh, it's a beautiful art, but the only reason why it's so expensive, $500, $600 PSA 10 card, is because of the population. So we're going to look at that today. Every card we're looking at today, we are going to look at the PSA Pop Report, so we're going to actually learn some things today. We got the Magikarp illustration right here. Total 2,500 cards graded by PSA. 560 of them are 10, and 1,429 are a 9. So the 9 has about 3 times as much as the 10. All right, so the first card we're looking at right here, the Tyranitar from Paldea Evolved. Arguably one of the best illustration rares we've ever gotten. I'd say definitely top 5. Groudon does beat this in my opinion art-wise. But, it's going up a little bit right now. $17 to about $25. But now remember, the Magikarp 3 times as much as a 9 instead of a 10. Look at the Tyranitar. 153 10s, but 553 9s. If you do the math, it's about the same thing. So, Tyranitar is just as hard to grade as that Magikarp. I mean, look at that, 206 8s. That's just wild. How many Magikarps, how many 8s did that one have? 442. There's already almost as much PSA 8s in a Tyranitar as there are in the Magikarp, which is just wild. So, easily, this card could easily go up in price. Only 153 PSA 10s, only 952 graded. Look at that, 12 PSA 6, that's just wild. All right, next. Some of these cards are low pop, super hard to grade. Some of them are not that hard to grade, but I think are just awesome cards. All right, next. The illustration rares from 151. Now, honestly, any of these could get jacked up in price right now. These are not that easy to pull. 151 pull rates are pretty brutal. And then, some of these are the best arts we've ever gotten of these certain cards. I love that they gave a lot of cards love that don't always get love. So, a lot of great cards here. And honestly, none of them super, super expensive. Charmander's the most at $27. All right, let's check some pop reports. Bulbasaur, all right, starting off with Bulbasaur. 1,200 9s, almost 900 10s, 960 to 720. Look at that, 1,500 PSA 9s, only 1,000 PSA 10s. So none of these cards are super, super easy to grade. Look at Caterpie's only had 461 cards graded. Let's see here, is there any really, really big ones? I'm not seeing anything huge. So, not terrible. But like I said, more 9s than 10s. So it's not super, super easy to grade. You can tell when a card is easy to grade. You click on it, they'll have double the 10s than there are 9s. And some of these cards, there are a lot of them. So, that's pretty good data to go off of. The Pikachu illustration rare has 3,000 total graded, 1,500 9s, and about 1,200 10s. So next, the special illustration rares from 151. I think these are, honestly, with how hyped everything else is and how expensive alternate arts are and stuff, I think these cards are so undervalued. The fact Zapdos is almost like under $30 now blows my mind. It has all three birds. One of the best, bird arts we've ever gotten in history. I could see people not liking the Charizard one. And then maybe the Venusaur. I love the Blastoise. I wish there was a little more going on with the Blastoise in the background, but... And then Alakazam is great. But honestly, I could see any one of these cards get bought out. Because honestly, like I said, 151, pull rates are not easy. They are tough. And best Pokemon ever, Gen 1. Everybody loves Gen 1. And you cannot deny the arts. So I could easily see somebody buying out all the Charizards when it gets down to that $80, $90 mark. And throwing them back online for $200 and $250. Same with all these. I could see Zapdos being a $100 card next. You just never know. But all of these cards are starting to go down in price right now. So definitely keep your eye out on them. But as you've seen, when these buyouts happen, it happens fast. Literally in a day. So, again, you never know. This is just me guessing. But some of these have so low pop reports that they have to go up in value. Like the PSA 10s people just don't know yet. I think people are so obsessed with the Magikarp and what's hyped up, nobody's really looking, other places. So let's check the pop reports for this. So a little more 9s than 10s for the Venusaur. Charizard, good amount more. 5,500 to 4,300. Still slightly more 9s than 10s. Oh, wow, the Erica's Invitation looks like it's pretty hard to grade. 2,400 9s and only 1,200 10s. So that's a perfect example right there. It could easily go up in price. 752 8s. That's the second most 8s on here besides the Charizard. Wow. So Erica's Invitation looks like it is the hardest card to grade. Yep. Hardest card to grade out of all of the special illustration rares. And then honestly, Giovanni's Charisma too. 808 9s and only 396 10s. So it looks like the trainers, I don't know why they're a little rougher, but good to know. I think those are two beautiful special illustration rare trainers. Especially, I love that Giovanni's Charisma. That card is awesome. All right, next we got the Tapu Koko. In my opinion, this is one of the best arts we've gotten in all of Scarlet and Violet. It's crazy that people are not loving this card. And then, too, if you watch the show, Tapu Koko is pretty sweet. I just rewatched that entire season with him. He's awesome. He helps out a ton. Great Pokemon, but look at the price. Just going down, 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 down. So, if you think about it, if you take every special illustration rare that we have gotten in all of the Scarlet and Violet sets, there's probably only, besides 151, there's probably only, I'm going to guess, 10 special illustration rares that are not Gen 9 Pokemon. And this is one of them, and it's one of the best arts we've ever gotten. And it's of a pretty popular Pokemon. Not everybody loves Tapu Koko, but I do. I love him. I think he's a great Pokemon. Alright, let's check the pop report. Tapu Koko Special Illustration Rare. We got 138 9s and 173 10s with only 328 graded. So, as you can see, the 9s and 10s are pretty close, so it's not super, super hard to grade. But again, there's not very many. 173 10s in the world. That's not that many. I could definitely see this card starting to go up in price. Maybe not as much as like the 151 cards, but I could see this card shooting up to $40, $50. Because we're just getting so many special illustration rares of Gen 9 Pokemon that I think people are going to go back and want to hunt, these older Pokemon that have been around for a while that are pretty popular. Next, the Altaria EX from Paradox Rift. Again, this is why I love Paradox Rift. I'm just going to come out and say it. Paradox Rift is my favorite set in the entire Scarlet and Violet era. You cannot beat the variety. We're getting, new cards. We're getting awesome cards. I think this Altaria is almost as good of an art as the Aerodactyl alternate art. This card is beautiful. I'm going to actually look for it today. I'm going to the card show, which would be yesterday. But in Minnesota, there's a big card show going on. Like Mike Tyson's coming on Sunday to do autographs and stuff like that. So it's going to be a ton of Pokemon cards there. I'm going to try to get some Hidden Fates, ETBs, and some cool cards. But let's check the pop report on this one. 229, 277. Again, very, very close. 528 graded. So a lot of these special illustration rares are not super hard to grade. The illustration rares are the ones that are actually a lot harder to grade. All right, what do we got next? Beautiful Ninetales. It makes me mad how cheap this card is. $4.50 was the last sold price. This card is beautiful. Let's say even if Ninetales wasn't popular, the art itself is just... It really, really stands out and pops. And this set, this is from Obsidian Flames, so Obsidian Flames does not get a lot of love. I wish they would have did a Ninetales special illustration rare. That would have been insane. But as you can see here, way harder to grade. 495 10s, but almost 900 9s with 188 8s. So everybody keeps saying that Magikarp's so hard to grade. It's the hardest card to grade. And a lot of these cards are not easy to pull. When you try to pull one card specifically, it's not easy. I'm shocked at how many 8s a lot of these get too. So almost double. So not 3 times as much like the Magikarp and the Tyranitar that we looked at. Next, the Raichu from Paldea Evolved. This card is actually pretty expensive, and I think it's going to keep going up in price. I personally don't love it, but I don't think it's bad at all. I think it's cute, which I think is perfect for Raichu and Pikachu and stuff like that. I'm very curious to see the pop report on this card. Alright, Raichu, 404 9s, 130 10s. So that right there, almost the same numbers as the Magikarp. I know it's way lower, but if you break it down, it's just almost the same odds as you getting an 8, 9, or 10 is the same as a Magikarp. So this card, very hard to grade also. Alright, next on the list, what do we got? Oh, Yveltal from Paradox Rift. It's like a $5, $6 card, just so cheap. Check the pop reports. Wow, only 208 graded total. 105 and a 10, and 93 and a 9. So when we don't have that many cards graded, it's kind of hard to, really, really judge. But it's about 50-50. Can't believe only 208 cards. I thought that one would have a little more. Next, the Groudon, my favorite illustration rare in all of Scarlet and Violet. The fact that a Magikarp is worth more than a Groudon is just crazy. But I do get it. That art is special, and it's the same artist who did the Giratina. Totally get it. This card is on the way up right now. This might be the second or third time I've mentioned this card too in my videos, and I guarantee other people are mentioning it too, so I think it's naturally just going to go up in price. As you can see, near mint holofoil, $59.98. So people are already trying to jack the price up of this card. Let's see what we can find it here. Still 28, 27, 28, but definitely we got to keep an eye on that card. I'll put that on the next Market Monday because that is going up in price. Very excited to see the pop report on this. Alright, 360 is a 9 and 489 is a 10. So not as hard to grade as Tyranitar, Magikarp, and stuff like that. But still, only 911 graded total. Such a beautiful card. But I can see this card easily being a $50, $60 card. That's how nice it is. Next, the Kirlia from Scarlet and Violet base set. Now, these cards are pretty cheap, and these are the first illustration rares we've ever gotten with silver borders, and one of the few cards ever that really tell a story. With the Ralts, Kirlia, and Gardevoir. But the thing about this is, I think I already looked at this one. The pop report is brutal. Look at that. 122 8s, 524 9s, 188 10s. That is probably, I don't know if that math equals out, but it might be harder to grade than the Magikarp. It's just wild. And then, same with the Ralts. And it's funny that the Ralts is worth more than the Kirlia, but people just don't like the middle evolutions. Some of them do just kind of fly under the radar, but the Ralts also, 560 and a 9, 134 and a 10, 179 and an 8. So, just super brutal to grade. And then I did look up the Gardevoir. Gardevoir is actually really easy to grade. So the special illustration rares, like I said before, much, much easier to grade than these illustration rares. But I could easily see these cards going up in price. Same with the Gardevoir. If these cards go up, the Gardevoir is going to go up. I feel like when it is the special illustration rares, the pop reports don't matter as much because you're more collecting the beautiful, super rare card. But Man, some of these illustration rares are so hard to grade. Next, Slowpoke from Scarlet and Violet base set. So, if the Ralts and Kirlia were super rough to grade, you would think this card would be rough to grade also. And you'd be right. 111 10s, 350 9s, 119 8s. It's crazy. I think the 8s have beaten the 10 every time so far for Scarlet and Violet base set for the illustration rares. And I know what you're thinking. It's a Slowpoke. It can't get expensive. There's a Slowpoke Psyduck Tag Team card, alternate art, that's so expensive. There's a decent amount of expensive, cards like this that are just those random Psyduck, Slowpoke, those cute little old Pokemon. So I could see this card going up to $30, $30, $40. You just never really know. All right, next we got the Drowsy again from Scarlet and Violet base set. This is one of the best arts I think we've gotten. I mean, I think it's right up there with the Magikarp and stuff like that. It's very, very unique. And it kind of tells a story. I just really, really enjoy this card. But Scarlet and Violet base set, so I'm going to guess 131 10s to 302 9s and 73 8s. So this one did beat, the 10s did beat the 8s. But again, not very easy to grade. 3 times harder to grade. All right, next on the list, the Umbreon VMAX and Umbreon V from Brilliant Stars. These are the trainer galleries. Now, I could honestly see these cards being the next cards to get hyped up. They're not that expensive, and they are beautiful. I do like the Umbreon V art a little more than the VMAX. Pretty much for every card, I like the V better than the VMAX. So, honestly, though, I could see, the Umbreon V being a $40, $50 card, and the Umbreon VMAX being a $50, $60 card, and then their PSA 10s being $100, $150 soon. Especially with how expensive. That Umbreon V from Evolving Skies is not going down in price at all. These are our next best options, which collectors always do that. When they can't reach that grail, they go down a level, and what's the next best thing? Boom. Trainer Gallery VMAX. And these cards are going up in price right now. I currently just bought an Umbreon VMAX PSA 10 for like $50. I think they're like $65, $70 right now. I mean, I haven't checked in a few days. It's going up. But these cards are actually pretty easy to grade here. The V, 1,848 10s, almost 1,200 9s, 196 8. And look at this, 3,200 cards total graded with 196 as an 8. If we pop back to the Ralts, 179 as an 8 with 907 graded, which just proves how hard it is to grade these illustration rares. Alright, so... And then we'll look at the VMAX. Looks like, again, pretty easy to grade. Even easier to grade, I'd say, than the Full Art V. So 3,500 total as a PSA 10. So yeah, definitely a little bit easier to grade than the V. So I would say the Full Art V is going to be a little bit more of a rarer card in a PSA 10. But alright, last on the list, Twilight Masquerade. So now this set is our newest set coming out, and we have pretty much every card revealed. There are some very, very nice illustration rares. I like the Pinsir. I don't think the Pinsir will be one of the cards to go up in price a lot. The Infernape right here could easily go up in price. Beautiful card. I've seen a ton of people say they like it. The new Loyal 3, I really, really enjoy their arts. But I do not think they're just going to go crazy. I feel like they'll do okay. These cards right here are the 2 cards that I think are going to go wild. The Chansey, with a Snorlax, a Bellsprout, and a Psyduck, and a Ditto in it. This is one of the best Gen 1 cards. The fact that this card was not in 151 hurts me. This card should be in 151. And then this Eevee card. I think the Eevee card is going to be the most expensive illustration rare in the entire set. It's very, very beautiful. It's super, super cute. And I think it blows the Eevee Trainer Gallery out of the water. Like, it's not even a comparison. So I could see this card getting very, very hyped up. Same as, like, the Ghastly and Magikarp and all that. And then for the special illustration rares, well, first of all, I do not like these Ogerpon special illustration rares at all. Like, literally at all. I think they're the worst special illustration rares we've gotten so far. It's not even debatable. Like, it really, really isn't. I don't know what they were thinking. And I know, we haven't seen them in person yet, but still, even in person, I mean, they're going to look better in person, but art-wise, they're not very good. So I think the only card that's really going to be expensive is the Greninja EX. And again, half the people don't even like the Greninja because it's got the crown and, you know, it's a little hard to read, but I think that card will be the most expensive card in the set so far. This might be one of those sets where the trainer is actually the most expensive. People are loving this camera card here where she's taking a picture of the Pokemon and the Pokemon is looking back up at her. So I could see this duo also being pretty expensive. I do wish it was the regular Growlithe, but it's okay. But yeah, I am a little worried about Twilight Masquerade. I'm going to make a video about it here in the next week. So yeah, these are all the cards that I think could easily go up in price. I could see any one of these cards, someone doing a big buyout and just jacking up the price. And then too, I really think this Eevee is going to be pretty expensive. And then too, when someone says anything about the Magikarp being, you know, the only reason why it's so expensive is because it's hard to grade. That's not true because we have a ton of cards here with almost as good of arts, actually more popular Pokemon that are just as hard to grade or even harder. So yes, the PSA pop does matter, but it only really matters because that card is popular right now. You know, these PSA pops don't really matter because these cards aren't that popular yet. So I think it's a great time to pick up a lot of these. I actually have a lot of these on the list. So I only have one, maybe two copies. I have 2 copies of the Yveltal. I do not have the Groudon yet. And my Tyranitar, it's pretty off-centered. Like, it's pretty rough. So I would like to get a new copy of the Tyranitar. So I didn't make this list to hype up all of my cards. You know, I don't care if one card goes up in price because, like I said, I'm a fan first, collector second, investor third. If I have one card, I'm never selling that card. I already did this. I have every single set completed for the first 3 generations. I had it way done before the boom. I've had them done for years. The boom happened. I could have sold those for so much money. But I didn't. You know, as an investor, that's probably stupid. But as a, you know, a fan and a collector, I could never sell those cards. You know, it took me literally 20 years to collect those cards. You know, I've been doing this since day one. A lot of people in this hobby, you know, they say they've been doing it for a long time, but you can tell by their cards or their collection that they really haven't. And, you know, most of these creators on YouTube now just started during the boom. They've only been doing this for a couple years. You know, that's why, too, a reason I haven't bought any vintage cards lately, I still remember all the prices of these original vintage cards. I remember thinking a first edition holographic card for $40, $50 was like kind of expensive. So, you know, I've done pre-release for 10 years straight. I've done so many tournaments. It's just crazy. I've actually opened every single set ever created. So I've been here. I've been through it all. If you guys like this content, please make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell, and please leave a like. It really, really helps. And if you do comment, just know I will always comment back to you. Unless you comment on an old video, I might miss it. But otherwise, I'm commenting back to everybody. That's my biggest pet peeve, when these creators who barely get more views than me, or, you know, I do double the videos that they do and they're not even commenting back to anybody. It's just disrespectful in my opinion. So I'll always be there if you guys have any questions. And if you guys want to support more, I do have an Instagram that I just started where I'm posting, you know, 1 or 2 pictures every day of my super rare Pokemon cards. If you guys want to check that out, the link is in the description there. You can also become a member for 99 cents a month. Ton of exclusive content on there. When new cards drop, I post it there right away. When I see a good deal, I post it there right away. Definitely go check that out. You can also go to my eBay store. We got 100% positive feedback with over 20,000 cards sold. And if you guys want to watch my newest video, Pokemon Falling Friday, it's a weekly series where I go over cards and sealed products that are going down in price, click this video. Otherwise, see you later.